right.
Might be the same week as Suicide Squad, which is also coming out like early August.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's going to be an action-packed fucking August. And
Just like this week was, because we got a bomb Loki episode, and then we got an awesome fucking MCU movie in Black Widow. So let's start with Loki, Journey into Mystery, episode 5. All right, thoughts, gentlemen.
Dude, this episode blew my. It felt like a fucking Marvel movie, straight up. This is the closest I think we've been to an MCU movie of an episode. Like, I was in awe. Like, it was just so crazy. The visuals were nuts. Just hearing the different stories of the different Lokis. And let's keep it real. If they had Alligator Loki in the original canon, Thanos wouldn't have been able to snap his fingers because he would have bit his hand and he would have saved the world. Just, I want to put that out there.
He could bite through the gauntlet. Damn.
Yes, I
Weak
thoroughly.
gauntlet.
Strong ass Alligator Loki.
Yo, no, but I agree. I love this episode. For me, it felt like fucking finally we got an episode that was good from beginning to end, and exactly felt like we're at the fucking theater right now watching the latest MCU flick, and I loved it. But it's one of those things that it also then makes me pissed off because I'm like, fucking, like, finally, like, and there's like what, one episode left, right? Or
yeah, man.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, that's the usual like formula for these shows so far, though. The last two are the big movie.
Right? Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like the initial episodes be whack on the low.
No, I mean, doesn't it start high, then kind of drop a little bit in the middle, then rise back up? At least that's how I felt about. Well, like WandaVision started low and went up gradually.
Nah, bros. To you, I loved WandaVision from the beginning, and also I love Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It was like fun and action packed. I've enjoyed those two series way more than I enjoyed Loki. Like, I'm really just.
Oh no!
No, you wildin'. Whoa,
you wildin'.
Let's get into this. Let's get into this because you're mad wrong. Right. I'm in the red room. You're wrong.
All right. Yeah, I thought this was epic because, all right, spoilerific, obviously. So we know at the end of episode 4 that Loki gets trapped.
Wait. Spoiler alert here.
Spoiler alert.
Okay, go ahead.
Boom. So at the end of episode 4, we know that Loki gets transported to, like Chess called it, the end of time.
Ooh,
and that's when he meets 4 other Lokis in this, post-apocalyptic planet, which may or may not be Earth. And then like Sylvie, to get to him, also transports herself. And before that, I jumped ahead a little bit. We get an intro to all these different Lokis, which was pretty cool. I already have a favorite, like all-time Loki from this episode, and it's President Loki. I think that's the pinnacle of Loki. Like his look, the few lines he had were all great. Just Tom Hiddleston being like the ultimate Loki. But yeah.
Yo, but how ultimate is he if he got his hand fucking chomped off because of the alligator Loki?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, like
he's gonna be badass with a hook or something.
Nah, he lost my respect with that in that moment. I'm like, really? You couldn't kick the alligator, bro, or something? Like, I don't know, because it's not even a big one. It's a tiny alligator, right? Like, what the hell?
First off, it's an Asgardian alligator. So,
or a frost giant alligator, right?
Exactly. Look at that. It's some other realmly gator type thing. You're bugging. Stop trying to play alligator Loki. And anyway, and hearing all their stories were pretty cool. So the fans get a quick idea. So when the variants get pruned is because they did something they weren't supposed to. Kid Loki killed Thor.
Yo.
We're not just gonna gloss over that. Like he fucked up the whole thing. Like,
and I love how he said it. Like, they're all kind of sharing their stories in this scene, right? A little bit about like what did they do to get to this point? What was their the branching thing, right? That's what they're asking about. And Kid Loki's all serious and shit. He's like, I killed Thor. It's like, and then it was just kind of quiet, like, okay.
which means that like them playing as children, or like him as a kid consciously killed another kid. So don't fuck with that kid.
Yeah. And did he kill Kid Thor with that sword that he gave to Loki?
Exactly.
Can you imagine? It's like a
Yo.
Thor killing sword that Loki.
That's what I.
Anyway,
That's,
let me stop.
yeah, that's
Happy
that's what I
Trivia.
assume.
Oh.
And then boastful Loki, which I'm gonna believe because if I'm not mistaken, boastful means you brag, but not that you lie.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
motherfucker won. His fuck up was that he won. Like
Right.
he defeated Thanos, defeated the Avengers, has a golden Mjolnir, and had the Infinity Stones, and the TVA straight hating, yo. Damn. I heard that. I was like, I want to see that movie.
Yes.
Fuck, bro. And then who knows what the fuck alligator? He probably like ate Odin or some shit. You don't know.
Ate the whole universe or some shit like that. I don't know.
They even question whether or not he's actually a Loki.
Not because like they just go with it. Hence, respect.
Yeah, hell yeah. And then I really love the fucking classic Loki, the old man Loki.
Word. My bad, I
Like-
forgot his story. That's crazy. I forgot to mention history. Go ahead.
Yo, word. His story was cool because also it felt a little bit like they were making fun at fucking the Russo brothers, for the Infinity War, right? He died in Infinity War, not Endgame. And the way Loki died, right? Because like first there's two comments that he makes because like I think classic Loki tells our Loki variant like why do you carry daggers or stuff like that? He's like because they're cool, and then he responded like because they're cool until you drop them on the floor and they snap your neck. It's like oh shit, like okay, because that's what happened in fucking Infinity War. Like he tried to stab fucking Thanos, this godlike creature with fucking already more godlike powers with it, and he tries to stab him. Like that's not very Loki-ish. And then he says like how did he survive that? He did what most fan theories say that could have happened, that he did in an illusion of himself that was so real that Thanos believed that he killed him, and that he just then ran away and then basically lived alone from like a coward basically. But that was cool to see.
Which I don't think it was like a coward because he did what two epic ass characters come to mind. One, because he retreated into solitude and just thought, like he sought wisdom essentially. So he pulled the Dr. Manhattan and he pulled a Bender from Futurama.
Yes.
Because two people who have gone into solitude and become borderline gods, like in their because of said solitude. But yeah, anyway, but like that was
and
so
Alan
epic.
Moore too. Don't forget him.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Another epic character who went into solitude to achieve apotheosis,
To shun humanity.
OD. Yeah, but like he thought his way to being good, I guess, in a way, because he's a bit of a nihilist on the low. I'm not gonna front, but like I got those vibes. But you can tell he actually thought himself out of that weird like bit of a like frivolous, mischievous mindset. Like,
Oh yeah.
you get what I'm trying to say? Like he stopped being a Loki.
Right. And what was interesting with that, actually, so I think there's something there in terms of the plot detail that we should pay attention to, right? Because obviously we know one, right? Let's just put our Pepe Sylvia fucking board up, man. And it's like we know that TBA is bullshit, right? We know they're not real. They're led by, we're going to find out it has to motherfucking be Kang or we're rioting. But why, right? Like, why is Kang forcing this timeline, right? And what does it have to do with Loki so integral? Because, for instance, because with him, right, with this classic Loki, he was left alone, it seems, for years. He just stayed away. Like, he said that he went away and stayed on a planet and then just was by himself, as you said, in fucking thought.
Maybe centuries, yo. Like,
yeah, and then he said ultimately that he missed his brother, and that's why he's like, fuck it, let me go back. And then the moment he stepped off of the planet, he was picked up by the TVA, right? So it's like, so it feels like as long as you don't interfere, maybe they'll leave you alone. Like, what's happening? What does Loki do, like in the timeline or something that then Kang get pisses Kang off or something? I thought that was interesting.
Bro, that's a massive point, because if you look at the duality of it, so if he does everything he's supposed to, that's like super crazy and fucked up and mischievous, the TVA doesn't interfere. If he does nothing, the TVA doesn't interfere. That's like it, like exactly like if you look at that, because they only interfere when they have to. So the moment that he thought himself to being a good guy, essentially, like thought himself out of being a Loki and like became like a genuine good god, I guess, for lack of a better term, and went to seek out Thor. Stop, what are you doing? Because him seeking out his brother in that mindset would have stopped Thor from maybe becoming Thor.
Or like, yeah, exactly. Or goes like what Rod was saying too, because it might be those two things. It might be like either you're like completely the good Loki, or you can be the complete evil Loki, and either or they try to stop you, right? Because we got President Loki, which, like Rod said, looked like fucking peak evil Loki. And then Kid Loki killed Thor. So they're like immediately, well, you're too much. You're too intense.
All right.
You gotta
And is the TVA specifically created to mess with Loki? Because it seems like that's all they do, right? Is battle Lokis. Because that whole post-apocalyptic world was, I thought for a second that was a variant Thor, boastful Loki, but no, that was another Loki.
Word, I thought the same thing.
And I think his President Loki's whole gang were all Lokis.
Yes,
so
they were.
So the only non-Loki people, or was just Mobius.
Mobius, yeah.
Right? He's the only non-Loki.
I mean,
but we do get, so I'm glad you bring this up, because now this is the next other very cool thing that might have been hard to watch in the moment if you've only seen the episode once, but then watch it again, and then you get to also go online, and you know everybody's been posting about this shit. We'll post something too, but like there are Easter eggs of other characters and other shit throughout this wasteland end of time Earth. For instance, we get a scene where we get Yellow Jacket's fucking head, and it seems in giant size too. So like he was able to become a giant with the pin particles, and then the head was there. So
I missed that.
So Yellow Jacket, there's a variant of him, right? That something happened. We also have one of the biggest ones was the Living Tribunal, the head of the living, the three faces.
Get the fuck out of here!
Were there in a freaking like fossilized almost way, you know, not very living, right? Obviously, this thing is fucking dead tribunal.
Like, a quick explanation for the fans, because that's insanely epic. So the Living Tribunal is deep cuts the fucking event that was, what was it, like maybe the late 90s, early 2000s, Marvel versus DC. So essentially the Living Tribunal, I think, is like the second most powerful power in the cosmos. He's what the Spectre to DC is to Marvel. So like he's like it, like beyond him is only like the one above in like the hierarchical order of power. That's fucking nuts.
Yo, the description on the Marvel wiki is the Living Tribunal was a vastly powerful humanoid cosmic entity who existed as long as the universe itself, and its function is to safeguard the multiverse. Damn.
Fuck.
Yo, but he was dead. Yes, no, exactly. So then when he was dead, and then we also got a Thanos copter. This is some classic old school fucking like late 70s, early 80s Marvel comic books that Thanos actually flew in a little helicopter that said Thanos.
Yes.
On the side to it, and it was there. So see, we're seeing that other people have been pruned, not just Loki's. Oh, and the other one, I don't know if you guys noticed when they were going into their lair, you know, and we saw Thor Frog.
Yeah, so Frog for the little jar.
Yeah. So Thor was fucking he's pruned the frog, I think it's called.
Fuck, that's crazy. And so let me get this straight. So in that timeline, that Thanos' only error was that he was finna be lit. Like he wanted a copter with his name on it. Like he's just trying to be lit in life, and they were like, nah. You don't get a helicopter with your name on it.
And he has like these huge spaceships and like Endgame and Infinity War. He's like, nah, I want a helicopter
with the name on it.
Yo, what did he accomplish with that copter that they were like, yo, we gotta stop him? Let's just give him his fucking spaceships. Actually, speaking of spaceships, they also had a helicarrier in one of the scenes as well, and like in this Earth. And they had the what is it called? The Ronan the Accuser's ship from the Guardians of the Galaxy 1. So that's there too. So we've gotten quite a few fucking people pruned. But so the key thing though, because remember, then they have Alioth, right? That's a big thing in this end of the time that destroys everything and eats everything. And the Loki's kind of commented that they're the only ones that survive. So I'm thinking maybe they survive that. Everybody else get pruned and then they die by Alioth.
Yeah.
But they're the ones, and that's why there's still so many fucking Lokis around.
Which is wild because I forgot where I saw this, but Eliath wasn't like a strictly like it wasn't created just for the show. Like it's apparently like an old comic book creation.
Yes, exactly. It is. It's apparently temporal limbo is called. It's Eliath the Usurper was created back in the fucking days. I'm trying to figure out exactly. Oh, by Mark Grunwald and Mike Gustovich back, I think, in their old school 4 runs. And it's another character that's tied to fucking Kang himself, man.
Oh,
Eliath is the first being who broke free from the constraints of time, and his empire is larger than that of Kang himself, apparently, stretching billions of years, shit like that. So I'm sure it might be something related like that. Like, I don't know, but that's Eliath exists in the fucking comic book, and it looks like that. It's just fucking purple fucking smoke.
bro. I think
Storm.
we might see Kang in that castle, yo.
Has to be. Or
Fuck!
Mephisto. Mephisto or Kang. Call it now.
Or Kang and Mephisto.
Oh.
Oh, yo, imagine.
Fuck. They
Yo,
work
one last
together.
big fucking Kang. Nah, dude, yo, bros. It has to be Kang, or we fucking riot, motherfuckers. Is that so? Remember, there was also a moment where we saw Avengers Tower kind of destroyed in the background as well
Yeah.
in this fucking end of the time place. If you notice that it doesn't say Avengers Tower, it says Kang, whatever. It's Kang. That's probably how it's pronounced. It's Qeng, Kang. All right. So in the comic books, I think this was during Mark Waid's run on the Avengers, the all new, all different Avengers run. Kang Enterprises belong to Mr. Gryphon, who's another Kang from fucking like not the multiverse, from the different moments in his time, that he ended up buying the Avengers Tower from Tony Stark and made it into the Kang Industries shit. So we see that fucking building there. So Kang is related to something, but why would Kang prune himself though, right? So, but well, he does do that, right? I think in the comic books, he does try to attack other versions of himself throughout the timeline. It gets confusing.
Fuck.
Yes, it's too much for me. I'm
Yo,
not ready.
Well, yo, by the way, the fact that you knew that whole string of words that you just like spit out, fuck.
Yeah, I got confused.
Yeah,
This is
I'm
like-
tired. I'm not sleeping. I'm just falling, trying to put all this together.
This is like that Matrix Reloaded scene when Neo goes into the room with the architect
no,
and he has
yeah.
all the screens. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna walk into this little house and it's gonna be like some crazy maybe Kang moment or multiple
wild.
Kangs or
Well,
That'd be
Liu
hot.
Kang.
And another thing you mentioned that for that, actually, because I've been seeing a lot of people have been calling, because when we saw at the end of this episode, right, Eliath is enchanted and it's opened up and we see this kingdom, primarily a castle in the center, very kind of like Dracula's castle kind of thing.
Word.
Apparently, a lot of people online are calling it Chronopolis. And Chronopolis is Immortus Kang's fucking main, headquarters in the fucking future. Like, come on.
Dude, maybe
Yeah, it has to
that's
be
what
Kang.
maybe that's what they meant by this is gonna be the most consequential movie because it's gonna show the next villain. And since at the end of the day, Kang is so like powerful because like even for all the fuckery that happens with time in DC, like with Zoom and the Flash, Kang is on some other shit. Like he's all about outside of time and like it's crazy, man. Like it's bugged out. I'm seeing it. You're right. That's crazy. Yeah. You're like, I don't see how fucking Occam's razor as fuck. I don't see
All
how
right.
it cannot be Kang.
Let me stop you. Wait, hold on. Wait, so who's more
I'm trying to
epic?
stop me.
Who's more epic? Zoom or Kang? And before you
Kang.
answer, just know that
Kang.
this
He did already.
response is brought to you by the drink of the week.
Yes, exactly. So before we decide who's more epic, Kang or Zoom, we are enjoying this marvelous fucking marble week of all these awesome shit with Superhero Sidekicks IPA
Oh,
by fucking KCBC, the Kings County Brewers Collective, local shit, Brooklyn, New York. This IPA is fucking delicious. I got this specifically because I would drink this a lot at the Alamo Draft House, which I'm glad you guys are open now thanks to the COVID fucking pandemic kind of getting a little bit under control to go see movies. And we recently, the guys got together to watch the Black Widow movie, and I enjoyed this sucker as we watched it and plenty other stuff. So, Superhero Sidekicks IPA, KCBC, what's up? We love you guys. Good drinks. Give us a shout out, and we're gonna decide who's cooler, fucking more epic, King or
also,
Soon.
You guys have the best label of any beer
Ever.
I have ever seen on the
I
planet.
think holographic, right? Or is it
Yeah,
the
bro,
metal?
it's action packed.
Since they started
Shout out.
making beer in the 1700s in America to today, July 11th, 2021, that is the coolest label on any beer container.
Yo, I want to read a story about these guys.
Yeah.
In the group, man.
Yo, shout out to the artist who drew that, and we will interview
Word.
you here on the LoZ.
Please,
Oh,
where's
yes.
Show?
Let's hit 'em
Fuck.
up. Yes.
That art is dope. But yeah, King.
King. Yeah, King.
All right, fuck both of you. In other news, though, apparently Kevin Feige, because we're gonna jump. Oh wait, let's not jump ahead. We got still got to review Loki, right?
Right.
So let's drop our reviews first. I'll go first. All right. So I think that it might have been the best episode so far, or at least the second best episode. The best being the first. This one made me feel like, okay, first of all, the whole Lamentis arc made me think Final Fantasy right off the rip. This one really brought that sci-fi fantasy feeling to this show, where Loki, he has a sword and he's battling this dragon, and his enchantress, like, you know, girlfriend is doing magics, and then you have like the elder Loki, and he's doing epic sorcery.
He made
Epic.
Asgard.
I was blown away the whole and then President Loki, the whole episode, it was kind of slapstick. It was like kind of Schumacher-esque, this whole fight amongst this, like, all these Lokis.
Word, yeah.
The whole thing was great. I'm gonna go ahead. I think this might be the best episode. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Yes. I'm gonna follow suit. I fucking loved it. This is exactly the kind of stuff I've been wanting to watch, especially from this show. Especially, like I'm saying, I have not been enjoying the series as much as I did WandaVision or Falcon and Winter Soldier. Now I'm hooked. Too bad it's gonna end, but yeah, I give this episode a 9 too.
I'm gonna give it a solid 8.5
Yes.
because I'm hating. Straight
All
hating in
right.
the red room.
It's gonna
In the
be
red
like
room, you hate.
we're gonna average that up to a 9, right? Was it 8.
Yeah, it's 8.8. We round it
Yeah,
up.
That's a 9. Yes.
Highest rated episode so far. So go watch
Nice.
it.
Yo, but right, word. But before we move on from this episode, I wanted to ask you guys, how do you guys feel? What do you guys think about Loki and Lady Loki Enchantress kind of like, you know, being into each other? Is it weird because it's themselves, or nah, we cool with that? I don't know. I don't know.
I'm with all the fuck shit. So I stand.
All right, there's nothing wrong with loving yourself. Come on, right?
Yeah. Or kind of like a Game of Thrones-esque weird sibling thing.
I mean,
don't
is
know.
that damn? That's
Not
crazy.
even.
Not even.
Not even because like it's totally different reality. So fuck it.
Yeah.
They'll be alright.